here because the rights to free speech here in San Antonio are being harmed. Right now, voices are being silenced by the city of San Antonio and the very restrictive ordinance that is being placed on us residents here in San Antonio.
And how is that restriction happening?
We can be charged a fine of $500 if we march in the streets without a permit. However, to get a permit, it costs $7,000 to $10,000. So if you're marching for immigrant rights, if you're marching for books for your school, if you're marching for education, for for your community, then what happens is you have to pay before you're allowed to have access to having your voice heard on the streets. And that's the way that we've won many issues, civil rights issues, women's right to vote, how we get basic equality in this in this nation. And so we don't want to be prohibited by these high costly fees. We want our access to free speech.
What do we want? Free speech! When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! Las calles no se callan! 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 Las calles son del pueblo! Las calles son del pueblo! Las calles son del pueblo! Las calles no se callan! Las calles son del pueblo! Las calles no se callan! Las calles son del pueblo! Las calles no se callan! Ain't no product how the people, cause how the people don't stop! Ain't no product how the people, cause how the people don't stop! Ain't no product how the people, cause how the people don't stop! Ain't no product how the people, cause how the people don't stop!
I want to thank all the organizations for being here. Thank you to the Esperanza Center, to Texas Organizing Project, Southwest Workers Union. Thank you for Pro-Immigrant Coalition. Thank you for our revolution, Domesticas Unidas. Thank you for Train. Thank you for Fuerza Unida. Thank you for Lucha Zapatista. Indivisible. All the indivisibles, Invisible 23. Planned Parenthood Texas Votes. All right. Thank you all for standing with us on free speech here in San Antonio. So the reason we're here today is because free speech is being silenced here in San Antonio. And the city in 2007 passed one of the most restrictive ordinances in the nation. And what happened was that it resulted in limitations to free speech. Let's take just a survey of the last 10 years. Immigrant rights advocates have had to cancel marches. Part of the reason is because they were told that they're going to be charged $7,000 to $10,000 just to march on the streets. That's ridiculous. Who can afford that? In addition, working class families and our elders were told to march on the sidewalks. Marching on the sidewalks and being told that if they do not, they can face a fine of $500 if they march into the streets. So that, and who's going to be, and not only would the organizers be charged, but every participant in the march would be charged $500. The other thing is that in addition, we've had the indigenous community marching on the sidewalks, and a person was arrested for blocking the sidewalks. So now you also have that threat. So there's a number of things that have happened and a number of limitations and violations to what we feel are our rights to free speech. And luckily, this year in February of 2017, District 1 Councilman Roberto Treviño issued a CCR, a council consideration request, and we want to thank him for doing that because he's taking a lead on addressing free speech here in the city. And he did it because some of his constituents were being faced with arrest at the airport for having their voice be heard at the city's airport. And that's unjust. There were mothers and their families going to protest at the airport, and they were being faced with arrest. And so what he did was he stood up as a leader on this issue, and he issued a CCR asking the city to ease the restrictions on free speech, and asking them to look for ways to allow people to have access to their free speech. And so today we're going to hear from a few members of our community that personally and firsthand have experienced limitations and what we feel are silencing. We have then organized and met with each of our council members, and we are getting overwhelming support from our city council members. One of our city council members is here with us today, Councilman Brockhouse. I want to thank you for your support. And so I want to hear from Sofia about, and she is a community organizer with our revolution and also with Medicare for All. Sofia.
Hi, thank you, Joleen, very much for this, and thank you everybody for coming here and for supporting and for demanding the city to get rid of this ordinance and allow our city to have free speech. When I was growing up, I remember one of my favorite times were the holidays. Cuando estaba pequeña recuerdo que la Navidad era uno de mis tiempos favoritos. We celebrated the posadas during the 12 days leading to Christmas. My aunt organized it, and it consisted in two children carrying the image of Joseph and Mary inside a made-up stable, followed by a crowd of people chanting Bible verses and songs. Celebrábamos las posadas los 12 días antes de la Navidad. Dos niños enfrente llevaban la imagen de José y María, seguidos por los vecinos, mientras hacíamos canticos religiosos. This tradition is lost here, where the city punished our communities by requesting to pay to do these traditions. We do not only punish our communities, we punish ourselves. Esta tradición está perdida aquí porque la ciudad requiere que paguemos por hacer las tradiciones. Estos precios no solamente afectan a mí, pero a mi pueblo. Today I am an organizer, and I have organized a march, and I had gone without a permit, because had I not gone without a permit, the city would charge me $10,000. 3,000 of them will be eaten by the city, but it will come out of my pocket, the rest of the money. Cuando estaba organizando la marcha de Medicare for All, la ciudad me dijo que me iba a cobrar $10,000. 3,000 de ellos la ciudad iba a pagar, pero los 7,000 yo lo iba a pagar de mi bolsa. That's not right. Going without a permit put us at risk, where we can be penalized for marching or obstructing the streets. Haciendo marchas sin permiso nos pone en riesgo de arrestarnos o penalizarnos solo para marchar, pero lo hacemos porque es nuestro derecho.
¡Eso!
But it's not only marches and rallies, funeral processions, school processions, they're all affected. Our city demands payments for police officers, even though our taxes pay for the salary. The policemen that help on rallies, marches, posadas, or funerals are on overtime. We should not be paying extra for their care. Y no solamente la tradición de la Navidad, los funerales, las marchas, protestas y celebraciones, todas son afectadas cuando la policía tiene esos eventos. Se les paga tiempo extra y también tenemos que pagar de nuestro bolsillo. Esto es absurdo. I want to thank Councilman Treviño for reviewing this ordinance, Greg Brockhouse for being part of the ordinance review, and I want to urge City Manager Mayor Nuremberg to support the people and end the system we have where we have to pay to have freedom of speech. If we pay for freedom of speech, that's not freedom at all. Terminemos este sistema donde tenemos que pagar para tener libertad de expresión. Pagar por hablar no es libertad.
Not only issue-based marches are affected, but our cultural traditions are being affected as well, and we're seeing them disappear. So thank you for that, Sofia. Araceli Herrera. if you'll come down, we're asking you to speak also. She is an organizer with Domesticas, Unidas. She's going to speak in Spanish about her experiences with the with organizing under the current ordinance.
¡Eso, Araceli!
Buenos días. ¿Días? Tardes, perdón. Tardes con este frío. Bueno, de lo que yo les voy a hablar es que efectivamente las costumbres que nosotros tenemos nos las han quitado por cobrarnos en nuestras calles para ejercer. Están coaccionando nuestro derecho de la libre expresión. Yo recuerdo que antes se hacían unas caminatas de iglesia a iglesia, caminábamos millas. En la noche, en la madrugada, empezábamos a las 4 de la madrugada, iban danzantes, la gente llevaba sus vírgenes de Guadalupe, los niños iban muy contentos con sus padres de la mano. No había policías, no necesitábamos que nos vigilaran, que nos cuidáramos, somos adultos, nosotros nos cuidábamos, caminábamos desde, más o menos para que se den una idea, desde Woodlawn hasta la calle Laredo, de iglesia en iglesia, y caminábamos entre las calles en la madrugada y el amanecer iba viniendo y nosotros caminábamos. Cuando pasábamos por las calles, la gente salía con sus vírgenes de Guadalupe y los sacerdotes de las iglesias bendecían las vírgenes de Guadalupe. Había flores en el camino, danzantes, la gente salía de sus casas, era algo tan bonito, nos daban atole, nos daban champurrado, nos daban café, nos daban pan, nos daban tamales, y eso ya se perdió. ¿Por qué? Porque la ciudad ahora cobra miles de dólares. Somos la comunidad, somos pobres. ¿Cómo vamos a poder seguir teniendo esas costumbres tan bonitas con nuestros niños, inculcándole cosas buenas, no violencia, no juegos, no internet, no celular, cosas positivas, cosas que van pasando de generación en generación, cosas que nosotros inculcamos en nuestras familias, cosas pacíficas? ¿Cómo las vamos a poder ejercer si ahora nos cobran miles de dólares? Otra cosa que quiero agregar que se ha perdido, los que nos dirigen son unos tontos, son unos ignorantes y son unos ineptos, porque les voy a decir que cuando tú realizas ese tipo de cosas, se consume dinero, porque compras veladoras, porque compras guaraches, porque compras masa, porque compras chocolate, compras todo para poder hacer eso. ¿Esto qué quiere decir? Que se han perdido millones de dólares de consumo de la gente por su ineptitud, por su pendejismo y su ignorancia. Gracias.
¡El pueblo unido
jamás será vencido!
¡El pueblo
Unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Good afternoon. My name is H. Drew Galloway, and I'm the Executive Director of MOVE San Antonio. MOVE is a grassroots, nonpartisan nonprofit that focuses on giving youth a voice in politics. I'm here today to call on our city elected officials, city staff, to help us make a better parade ordinance in San Antonio. We're a proud member of the Free Speech Ordinance. In January, students came to us from all across San Antonio and said that they wanted to hold a march around the travel ban. We approached the San Antonio Police Department and were told that we would have to have a tremendous amount of insurance, a very high fee that we could not afford, and so therefore we held a rally in Main Plaza instead. This is not right. We deserve the right to get out and exercise our voice and help young people do that throughout San Antonio. So we're calling on City Hall, we're calling on the city manager, we're calling on the city attorney to make our parade ordinance more fair, more accessible, and more free. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna, as part of the Free Speech Coalition, we want to tell the city exactly what we want. All right, so these are just some of the stories. I know that even among this group and outside, there are a lot of stories of people whose voices have been silenced. And so we're here today to stand up and to make sure that those voices are heard from here and into the future, because that's the way we win women's rights. That's the way we win the right to vote. That's the way we win workers' rights. That's the way we win immigrant rights. That's the way we're able to express ourselves and have our cultural traditions, continue in this city. And so we want to have that right. We want to keep it. Is that right?
Yeah. What do we want? Free speech. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Free speech. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down.
All right. As the 7th largest city in this United States, we're asking the city of San Antonio to be a leader. All right, to be a leader in democracy, a leader in free speech. It's about time when we see ourselves as a city on the rise, and we want the city that we deserve, then what we feel we deserve is free speech. And so that's what we're asking the city to do. Number 1, eliminate the high costs that are related to marches in the street. Number 2, remove the $500 fine that currently exists for marching without a permit. Now, if you had to organize a march, or if you wanted to go march in a different part of the city, you'd have to go to a different department, and you'd have to go to a series of departments in order to make that happen. We want to consolidate the process, and we want one office with a staff member to help coordinate separate departments. And that office should not be within the city police department. It should be outside of that. We also want, folks, we want the discrimination to stop. Stop charging higher costs to certain organizations based on the theme of their protest. That amounts to content discrimination, and we're not going to stand for that. And finally, look, our city and our community can help protect ourselves. And so we want for our own march marshals to be recognized. We want to be able to manage traffic at the intersections, and we want to be able to do those things because it not only brings costs down, but it activates and engages our community. And so we want to be able to stand side by side with each other and host these marches and be able to take care of one another. So that's what we're asking the city to do. Other cities like Los Angeles and Orlando have done this in their city. And honestly, we can be better than Los Angeles, right? Come on now, we can be better than Orlando. And so absolutely, we've got to be ahead of the game, and we've got to pass an ordinance that protects our city and protects our right to free speech. So right now, we have the author of the CCR here with us, Councilman Treviño. We'd like to thank you and ask you to say a few words. Please do.
Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. This is what it's all about, right? And I'm sorry, I think we are better than Los Angeles. Come on. Thank you. This is something that we're fighting together. I want to thank all of you and all the work that you've put into this. We want to take care of a lot of our legacy issues that have created this potential improvement in our policy, and just thank you for all your support. Thank you for your work. I want to thank Andy Segovia for all his work. Most people don't know, but Andy Segovia helped me craft the CCR that we got in place. So I want to thank him and his office, all his hard work. I want to thank my council member for being out here, Brockhouse for supporting. I think we have the support of the city council, we have the support of the mayor, and we have the support of Andy Segovia's office to get this moving forward. And most of all, we have your support, and we have your back. So look forward to making this happen for all of us. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman. So not only do we want this done, but we want it done soon. We want it done soon. Let's get this done. Let's get this done before Christmas. Come on. We're not going to stand for the suppression of free expression injures us all. When we don't hear from each other, when we don't hear from our community, we don't know what is happening. We don't know what's happening in our city. We don't know how to inform public policy moving forward. And if we don't, then we don't really have democracy. We don't have democracy then. So right now, just want to recognize also another one of our supporters, Councilman Saldaña. Councilman, we just want to thank you, and we want to offer you a moment to say a few words about the free speech ordinance. All of us here are spur behind trying to make sure that we ensure and protect the right to free speech here in San Antonio.
Absolutely. Well, I'll speak to you all more than anyone else. This is about making sure that you're using your voice and you're raising it to do good. I see a lot of familiar faces who've been in this fight for a very long time. Muchas caras que they've been inside esta lucha difícil a veces. It may get hard, but thank you all for your work. I support what you all are doing, and you're right. There should not be any tax or fee on your ability to speak freely. And we hope that the city council agrees with you. So thank you for taking your time to be here. One person's voice is important, but this many faces and voices put together is even more important. It is powerful.
One last thing about charging for free speech. Look, if the city of San Antonio can invest in private development, if the city of San Antonio can invest in building commercial developments, in huge developments at Chemisphere and other places, we can invest in democracy. We can invest in the importance of the voices of our community. And that's what we're here for today. So we want to make sure that that's not an impediment here in the city of San Antonio, because we know that we have it to invest. And we know that democracy means much more to us than some investment in development or some other thing that we don't think will benefit everybody. This has the potential to benefit each and every single resident in this city, without regard to income level or where you live. This is about each and every one of us and our voices in this city. So that's why we're standing together to protect not only our voices here, but the voices of every single person in this city. So with that, I just want to say thank you to all the organizations and individuals. Thank you very much for coming. Now, this doesn't end. This is actually this is the beginning. So we've been working to this point, right? We've got to continue contacting our council members. We will not let up. We want them to know this is just the beginning for us, and we're not going to let up. We're going to make sure that you hear from us, City Hall. We're going to make sure that you hear from us. We're going to make sure that also the city staff knows that we're willing to work alongside you, but we want to see that you're as passionate about democracy as we are.
Speech is not free speech. Pay for speech is not free speech.
Pay for speech is not free speech.
Pay for speech is not free speech. Pay for speech is